all right, everyone. Welcome back. And guess what, Kansas City? The iconic metal holiday band is making a return to the Metro. That's right, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra has not one, but two performances this Saturday at T-Mobile Center. I sat down with their lead guitarist, Al Pitrelli, to talk about what keeps bringing the group back to Kansas City. Let's take it over now. Plus, Streaming Desk Kansas City is so excited to have the Trans-Siberian Orchestra come this weekend. First question for you, how are you feeling about returning to the Metro?
Love it. I can't wait. We've been coming through town. Gosh, it's absolutely since 2001. I think it was Memorial Hall, War Memorial. I forget the name of the venue. But I remember coming through there a couple times. The next thing you know, we're playing like a one sold out show in the arena. And then all of a sudden, it's two shows a day. So it's one of my favorite places in America to play. And it's just great. And good barbecue.
Definitely great barbecue, and we'll get into that too. I know you mentioned you're a Chiefs fan, so that'll be fun to chat about. But I also want to start, let's go way back from the beginning. Could you tell me when you started playing guitar and just a little more about your background?
Well, anybody my age will tell you a similar story. In 1964, I was 2 years old and I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and that was it. You know, my mom had a picture of me in my feety pajamas watching, those four lads from Liverpool do their thing and change the world overnight. And my granddaddy had an old beater guitar in the corner, and I started strumming it like I wanted to be, George Harrison or Paul McCartney or John Lennon, whatever. And from then, I just had a love affair with music, the guitar. I played wind instruments in the elementary school band. And, my parents thought, oh, this is so cute. It's going to be so fun. Well, much to their chagrin, I took it a little more seriously than they hoped. And I've just tried to be a good student of music ever since. And I got the opportunity to meet Paul O'Neill, who founded the Trans-Siberian Orchestra back in 1985. We were friends for about 10 years before he called me up to get involved to create something that is over 3 decades old now. I mean, that's the short story, but that's about it.
That's great. I mean, when I think of Christmas music and iconic bands, I think of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You guys have really become a holiday staple for the entire country. I'm curious, what is it like being a progressive metal yet holiday themed band?
It's kind of awesome because there's so much depth to what Trans-Siberian Orchestra does musically. It would be the equivalent if we watched a film score or we watched a film together. And the score doesn't have to be one particular thing throughout the entirety of the film because there's so many different dynamics, different characters being introduced. So when Paul wrote his stories first, then we would come up with songs or themes or ideas to kind of underscore the story that he had. So it's all over the place, from traditional Christmas music to good old-fashioned American rock and roll, classical music, gospel, R&B, everything in between. So it keeps me on my toes because I'm not doing the same thing all the time. And I think it keeps it fresh for the audience because they're not listening to the same genre of music for 2.5 hours at a concert.
It truly does keep the audience on their toes. You're so fun to listen to. You're also so fun to see. You have great visual elements as well. I'm curious, for people here in Kansas City this weekend, maybe it's their first time seeing the Trans-Siberian Orchestra live. What do you want them to know?
Well, I think the shorter answer to that is whatever you think it is, you're probably wrong. A lot of people think it's just an orchestral presentation, a lot of classical music, just Christmas themes. Some people may think it's just a rock concert. Some people may think it's just like almost a Broadway style theatrical presentation. It's all that and then so much more. I mean, we've been touring for 26 years. The first year we came out, we had one 24-foot box truck and a fog machine.
Wow.
Right now in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 21 tractor trailers, 12 buses, and a lot more fog machines, not to mention pyro lasers, moving trusses, 3D videos. It's the biggest production on God's earth right now. And there's a group of people, especially in Kansas City, that I affectionately refer to as the repeat offenders. They're the ones who've been coming back year after year. If they saw us at Memorial Hall 20 years ago or so, they brought their children. Now they're bringing their grandchildren. So you got 3 generations of families deep in the audience, all celebrating Paul's beautifully written stories.
I'm also curious, Al, what's been the most rewarding part of the evolution of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
Good question. Up until COVID, after every show, we would have a signing line. That meant everybody in the arena was invited to come say hello. And we've become friends with a lot of these people over the decades. The most rewarding thing that's happened to me, being part of this for over 3 decades now, is when a dad or a mom will come down the aisle and they'll say, hey, because of your show last year, my son wants to take guitar lessons and my daughter wants to play the piano or the violin. Inspiring a younger generation to pursue the arts. Whether they want to do it as a career or not doesn't matter, but the fact that they're enjoying something other than video games, and I love to hear those stories. And this year we'll have the autograph line back, and I can't wait to hear those stories again.
That's absolutely incredible. I know you mentioned Kansas City is one of your favorite spots in the United States. You love the barbecue, you love the Chiefs. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, during COVID, like everybody else, the world shut down. And I don't get the opportunity to watch football much because we're always working for the last, 26 years of touring. I don't have any Sundays off, so I haven't seen a real football game since we started. And during COVID, obviously there was no tour. So I remember some random Sunday sitting on the couch with my daughters and clicking the TV on. I was like, oh, Andy Reid. I didn't know he was in Kansas City. He used to be at Philly. And then I'd watch Mahomes and Travis Kelce do their thing, and just like, who are these guys? This is fun, So I became a Chiefs fan because they were awesome. And then when Taylor Swift started showing up, my daughters wanted to catch every Chiefs game just to get a glimpse of her. And now they also like the Chiefs, and now that was our Sunday thing. I mean, until I went away to work. But every Sunday we sit around. I mean, I grew up a Jets fan coming from New York, but the Chiefs are fun and they're awesome.
It's a lot of fun. Have you ever been out to Arrowhead Stadium? I'm wondering.
Well, no, unfortunately, but I think it was 2 years ago. We were playing in, I'm going to say Minneapolis, and we got tickets to see the Chiefs at Arrowhead on Christmas Eve day. They were playing, and I was so stoked. And I got off stage at the Minneapolis show, and one of the singers comes up. She says, "Well, did you hear what happened?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "We're snowed in. We can't leave Minneapolis." I was like, "Ah." So we missed the game, unfortunately. I had great seats and everything, but one day I will.
Now a controversial question. What's the best barbecue spot in the Metro?
I'm not answering that question.
They're all great. They're all great.
Politics, religion, college football, and barbecue. Because I'm going to make somebody really angry.
Yeah.
I'll ask you what your favorite is, and then I'll say, okay, I'll try it.
Ooh, that's a really, really good question. I think one of my favorites, it's a little bit smaller of a place, but Slaps Barbecue never disappoints. So if you have some free time, I would definitely recommend that one.
Okay, I'm in.
Yep. Awesome. All right, just overall thoughts coming to Kansas City. What do you want people here in the Metro to know?
That we're coming back. You guys make us feel like we're coming home. We know a lot of people in the audience. I call them the repeat offenders. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to meet some new people. I can't wait to celebrate. And I can't wait to surprise everybody because the entirety of the show is completely different than anything we've ever done, especially in Kansas City. Musically, visually, emotionally, everything about it is different. So even the repeat offenders are going to look at the stage and go, where is everybody?